Hey guys, it's Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to create an apex in a super easy way using Polygel. So here are the nails that I came up with. I kept them super simple just so we could focus on the apex. As you can see, each nail has a nice apex. My middle finger was a little bit higher than the others, but let's go ahead and get right into this. I'm starting off with some full cover nails and I'm going to prep them with some alcohol as my dehydrator, and then I'm also going to use my primer from Model 1s. And I decided to leave this clip in of me being a total klutz and spilling at least a quarter of my primer. It was very unfortunate, but I'm putting one layer of this all over my nails and then I'm gonna let it completely air dry. While that's happening, I want to explain to you guys what an apex is and why it's important. So an apex is the thickest point of the nail, and it's important because it's going to make your nails strong in the areas that your nail might break at. So it's going to make it durable for whatever activities you use your hands for. So an apex should be directly in the center of your two side walls, which is just the ends of your nails on the side. And here I'm going to show you a picture, and I thought this was perfect because it shows you the exact shape of a fake nail. So the cuticle area should be nice and thin so that it flushes into your new growth. Then it should start to get thicker as you go towards the apex, and then it should thin out towards the extension because you don't need a lot of strength in the extension, and it just keeps the nails looking nice and flattering. So this next picture, you guys can pause it if you want. I just thought it was great because it shows you all the wrong ways to build a nail. Alright, so let's go ahead and build us some strong, durable nails that will last us a very long time. The product I'm using today is Macart's 334 color from their nude collection. Here it is. And the method I'm going to show you is the 2 bead method. This is something that I learned from Nails by Vic here on YouTube, and I think it's super great for beginners or just someone who has a hard time creating an apex. So the 2 bead method is pretty much just splitting up the application into 2 parts, the tip bead and the cuticle bead. So we're actually going to take a break from the voiceover, and I'm going to put the sound back in real time so you guys can hear me explain it as I go. So enjoy. So a bead of polygel is just this right here. It's just the product that you put on the nail. It usually looks like a little ball. That's why it's called a bead. So I'm going to get my brush wet in some alcohol, and I'm going to start patting this around. Now this is the tip bead. So we are just going to focus on fitting this to the tip. And then after we are done fitting this to the tip, then we will focus on the cuticle bead. And that's what makes this method so easy and realistic for beginners. So I'm just going to smooth it up so that it's at the tip. If you're getting too much product off the tip, you can just use the belly of your brush and pat it back into place. You can do that with the tip of the nail or the side walls of the nail. Once I have that done, I have some product right here. I have a thick amount of product, so I'm going to flip my hand over just because that's more comfortable for me, and I'm going to start pulling this product down towards the middle of the nail, trying to thin it out a little bit because our cuticle bead is going to overlap this bead, and we don't want to make it too thick in the middle area. So I'm just thinning it out down here. And before I cure this, I'm just going to take a look at it, make sure everything is perfect. It's a little too thick up here, so I'm going to smooth it out a little bit more. And now, as you see, I've gotten a lot of product off of the tip. When that happens, here's a little trick for me. I just take the spatula side of the brush and I just karate chop the excess off, and you go back to that nice clean line tip. I'm just making it perfect, and then I'm gonna cure it for like 15 seconds. Perfect. I'm only curing my nail for 15 seconds because I want it to freeze in place. so that I can put product on my cuticle side of the nail. But just letting you know, 15 seconds is not enough time for this nail to cure. So after we are done with the cuticle bead, we have to make sure it gets a 60-second cure. So now it's time for the cuticle bead. You want to apply this where you want your apex to form. So as you can see, I have my apex right here, right underneath where my finger stops, and right towards the middle. So since I have a lot of height in this bead, what I'm going to do is keep that height there and just thinly smooth out the product into the areas that don't have any polygel. So like my sidewalls, my cuticle, I'm going to just smooth out the bottom and the sides, just applying product where there is none. And as you can see, we still have some height there. We didn't flatten it out. And now that we have product in those areas that were empty, you can go ahead and smooth those areas out, trying to thin out the product towards the cuticle and the sidewalls. Try not to get it on your skin. And now I'm going to take some more slip solution, and I'm going to do the exact same thing to the top of the bead. I'm going to smooth it into the nail. And this you can flatten as much as you want. Just make sure you don't flatten it so that it's flat on the nail, but that apex was a little too high for me. I don't want my nails that thick. The thicker the nails, the harder it is to remove them. So I only want it thick enough to give my nails structure for the length that I have. My nails aren't extremely long, but they are long enough to need, you know, a noticeable apex. And I'm just smoothing it out at this point. Smoothing it into that tip bead. And there we have a nice apex. And at this point, I'm just going to play with it until it's perfect. I see some wrinkles and some streaks that I want to smooth out. And then I'm going to cure this for an entire 60 seconds to make sure it's fully cured. And before you do, make sure that your cuticle is nice and flushed. I'm going to use my spatula again just to create a gap between my cuticle and the polygel, because you don't want them touching. That's how you get lifting, and we want these to last a very long time. Just doing some final touches. Beautiful. Can you guys see? I want to make sure you guys can see my nails. Okay. Look at that. That's beautiful. I'm going to cure it. 60 seconds. Those are all the tips and tricks I have for you guys. So right now I'm just wiping off that sticky layer so that I can file my nails. If you did have a hard time creating an apex using just the polygel, one thing I can say is if you file a little bit more at the tip of the nail and try to file a little bit more at the cuticle, leaving the apex area thick, that will also help you have strong nails. So that is officially all of my tips, and now I'm reshaping my nails and I'm filing the surface. After that, I buff them, I wipe the dust away, and then I'm just going to show you what top coat I use. I didn't show you me doing the design just because it was just me putting on a top coat and putting on a sticker, and I honestly don't remember why I didn't just leave the camera on, but I'm going to let you guys watch up to that point, then I'll come back on. I'm going to be using the Model 1's matte top coat. This is a gel polish, and this is how the nails turned out. They were just matte and super simple with a butterfly sticker. I thought they were super cute. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!